Hi, welcome to Saturday Morning Discovery. I'm Laurel Bodinus here at the Southwest School of Art, and today we'll be making Fiesta style medals using recycled materials and collage techniques. So let's talk about the materials that you'll need to do this project. And really, it depends on what you've got, but paper materials, postcards, I have a lot of calendars, an old comic book. I've collected a bunch of metal lids from cans. These were cut with a can opener that doesn't leave a sharp edge. If you don't have a can opener than that, this is an orange juice lid, right? And it comes off of that cardboard can and it doesn't have any sharp lids, so these are really great. But if you don't have a metal lid, you can take a stiff piece of card and just trace the shape of a circle on it that you want to use and cut that out and use that instead of a lid. And as long as it's stiff cardboard, it'll work great. And then different collected collage materials, that's paper that you can easily cut out. I like animals, so I have a lot of images of animals that I can use, or a postcard, and different, like here's some acrylic jewels, some sequins, some plastic flowers that came from somewhere. This one even says Fiesta, so we'll glue that on there. Some googly eyes. You're gonna need big safety pins and some kind of duct tape. Some clothespins in case I need to glue and clamp something on there to dry, like I have something bigger that needs to dry. I have some glitter, tacky glue that I've put in a cup so that I can use a paintbrush with it. And I also have some Elmer's school glue. And now, to start, I'm going to choose what image I want to use. You could use any kind of paper image, and you can also combine paper images to make a design. Or you could use a photograph of your pet or your family. Pretty much anything that you can cut out with scissors. You're going to need scissors. So, I'm going to take this picture that came from a catalog, a calendar, and I'm going to take the metal lid and put it down on top of the image, and then trace around that with a marker or a pencil or a pen and cut it out. So now I'm going to put it in there, and I see that it needs a little more trimming. And check that it fits again. It does fit. So now I'm going to take the white school glue, and fit the image in, like so. Now I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to take one of my big safety pins and see which way do I want this. I think I want the frog to be crawling up me. So that means that I'm going to want to put the safety pin on this side, like this. I'm going to look at this side and put the safety pin down so it's horizontal to the image. Take a piece of duct tape that I've already prepared and cut so that it fits in here. And I'm going to just duct tape that down real good. And then I'm going to close the pin so it doesn't poke me while I work. Now, what do I want to add to my frog? I'm going to look here in my little dish, and it's nice to have a little, you can use a paper plate or a bowl or a saucer, whatever you have to hold your things so that you don't have them just roll out off the table, right? I'm going to take now, this is my tacky glue. And this glue is just kind of like Elmer's glue, but it's thicker. So if you're gluing something like these little plastic beads on, or anything that has a little more heft and weight to it, these acrylic jewels, this just works a little bit better than this does. And it'll grab faster. So I can use a stick to put this on, or I can use a paintbrush. I'm just going to go around the edge and put this glue on pretty thick around the edge of the image. Now I'm going to take these little beads and I'm going to stick them all around the outside. And some of them are bigger than others, and that kind of looks kind of cool. Now, you could do things with different colors if you had different colored beads. If you're looking for things to collage with, you can see if someone in your family maybe has a sewing box or a button box. It could have ribbons in it, or cool buttons or beads. There's a lot of things that you can look for. Okay, so I've got the beads all the way around and anything that you want to glue on there, and I got a little piece of paper towel, and I got it wet. I'm just gonna clean up a little bit of that. And that's gonna dry pretty quickly. Now, that looks pretty cool, but what else can I do to it? So I'm gonna turn it over and look on the back, and here's my pin. And now I can look at some of these other things that I have. I have these little wired leaves. Got a piece of duct tape cut here. Cut a piece of duct tape. And you could use hot glue for this, but really tape works just as well. And anything that I tape on the back here, you're not going to see. So I'm going to tape that down here on the back like that. There we go. I can arrange that like that. And I think I'll probably put some ribbon on it. And then I'm going to take this piece of duct tape again. So now I'm going to cut pieces of curling ribbon. When you're curling ribbon, you always take a pair of scissors, and the ribbon naturally has an inside curve. See how it curls like this? So you put your scissor on the inside of the curve like this, and it'll curl. So I'm going to curl all these pieces of ribbon, and then I'm going to stick them on the bottom of this duct tape like this. And then I'm going to stick that on the back of my medal like this. So let's find an acrylic jewel that we want to put here with our, I like that. And I'm going to use the paintbrush again. And I'm not going to put a blob of paint right here because it might not be in the right place. I'm going to put the paint, the glue, on the back of the jewel. And this is the same principle as when you're gluing two pieces of paper together. You always want to put the glue on the smaller piece of paper because it keeps it from getting messy. Now I'm going to do one more thing to this before I call it good. And after you do this, this is the last thing you're always going to do to any project that you're working with. If you're going to use glitter, you're going to use glitter last. And then you have to set it down and let it dry. And I'm going to take a piece of cardboard and put it down so that I can clean up the glitter. Don't use glitter near a computer. So I'm just going to put the glitter over, kind of shake it around a little bit, turn it over onto my paper. There we go. What do you think? Okay, so now we're going to make one using more collage techniques and not making it round because it can be a different shape. So I've got a piece of stiff cardboard and I've cut out some images. This is from a calendar, and here's from my comic book, and here's a hamburger. I must be hungry. So I'm going to decide what I want my collage image to look like before I start gluing. So I've already decided what I want it to look like, and I've cut out between the fingers, and I've cut out around the hamburger, and so I haven't cut this one out yet because this shape doesn't matter so much, it's the background. So I'm going to put glue on this background piece first. And I put glue all through the middle, a thin line, and all around the edge. I don't put a little blob of glue right in the middle and stick it down because that doesn't really stick down the edges of the paper. And on your cardboard, You might decide that you want to look at which side of it. Maybe I'm going to glue on this side because that way that side is blank. So I've glued down the background. Now I'm going to think about how am I going to glue this guy down. And I really have to think about this because I want him to be grabbing the hamburger with his fingers. So I'm going to put the glue on his fingers. And I'm going to look at the hamburger and look at the thing from the Fantastic Four. And I'm going to just kind of slide his fingers in there and get him to start grabbing the hamburger like that. So it looks like he's grabbing it. See that? And now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to put glue now on the part of the hamburger. And now I'm going to stick this whole thing down onto the cardboard background. So there I'm here. Now, take my scissors and I'm going to trim around the shape of the thing. I'm going to leave some of that background in there. There we go. Now, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to take a big safety pin and I'm going to take a piece of duct tape and put it on the bar of the safety pin like that. Turn over our collage metal and put that on the back like that. And then close the safety pin. Now I noticed when I picked this up that I have a place where there's no glue. If you notice that, come on back in and put a little glue in there and go ahead and close it on down and make sure that you get the rest of that. Now, what do I think I might want on this? I think I'm going to take some of these pipe cleaners and twist them together like this, and then stick those on the back so they're poking out like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tape those down like that. And then I can kind of curl these up, make them stick out however I want them to. That. Now, I have a needle and some heavy-duty thread here and these little balls, and I'm going to hang those off the back using a needle and a thread. I'm going to make a knot at the bottom of my thread like this, and then I'm going to run this right through the center of the pom-pom, and it should stay. All right. Now, I'm going to put this other pom-pom on there. Now, what else can I do to this? Well, I can put glitter on it like I did on the other one. Or I can put a jewel. Now, that's a pretty wild Fiesta Medal. Okay, well, here are our two medals that we made, the one made with a metal lid and the one made with paper, just cardboard. And thanks for joining us here on Saturday Morning Discovery. I hope you had fun. And don't forget, when you're cleaning up, if you used a paintbrush with glue, wash it out in the water. See you next time.